Hello, Felix from Nintendo Life here, and today we're here to review Disney Dreamlight Valley for the Nintendo Switch. Now I know that the game technically came out around a month ago, but this game will have a lot of post-launch content, so I thought better late than never, and here we are. This review was written by the wonderful Josh Broadwell and converted into video by me. Okay, so imagine waking up seeing Mickey Mouse tendering his garden while Scrooge McDuck just opened a shop and Wall-E the timid robot searched for flowers to help people smile that day. It's the stuff of dreams for anyone who has any level of attachment to Disney properties, and it's exactly that experience you'll get every day in Disney Dreamlight Valley. This game could easily just have been a cynical play on nostalgia, letting you build a miniature Disney theme park, sprinkling some shadow life sim elements and leaving it at that. Instead, it's a surprisingly character-driven experience that's heavy on customization, with some thoughtful commentary on growing up, and a mostly relaxing loop that wants you to have as much fun as possible. It's just a shame that it runs so poorly on Switch. Disney Dreamlight Valley opens up with a twist on the formula Harvest Moon and Stardew Valley helped establish. You, tired of the mundane and empty stresses of daily life, long to return to the one place you were happy as a child, where it felt like anything was possible and the future was bright. Unlike the life sims it draws inspiration from, Dreamlight Valley waves this concept into its narrative foundation and turns it into a unique opportunity for building emotional connections. The story goes, the ruler suddenly left, night thorns overtook the village, and the valley's inhabitants forgot their purpose in life and left their friends behind. The ruler's identity is, well, hardly a secret, and it's plain to see the metaphor Dreamlight Valley wants to create in you rediscovering the joy by connecting with your old Disney pals. Intentional or not though, it's also an unexpected and even poignant bit of commentary about growing up in general. Letting your hopes slip away, losing friends and loved ones, and generally seeing the world through a bleaker lens than before. The tinge of sadness seeps into character interactions and even quests as well. But the result is just that the setting makes you feel even more connected with the inhabitants and their joys and sorrow, even if you aren't that much of a Disney lover. The task you get is to bring the village and valley back to life, rebuilding not just its shuttered shops and rundown restaurants, but also the hearts of everyone who lives there as well. That can take the shape of investing money in Scrooge McDuck's Imperium, to taking Mickey's mind of loneliness by having a picnic with him or just dropping by to chat every day. Deepening your friendship also unlocks the means to explore other parts of the realm, though Dreamlight Valley occasionally falls into the common free-to-play trap of locking progress behind convoluted grinding. You need certain amounts of Dreamlight to unblock the large night thorns. Dreamlight is essentially this game's version of Animal Crossing New Horizons' Nook Mile points. It accumulates when you do almost anything, from picking flowers to selling fish, but even when you have enough to proceed, you have to stop and prove yourself worthy of acquiring a special orb. The first orb requires you to reach at least level 5 friendship with 3 of the villagers, which means handing over dozens of home-cooked meals or mining down rare gems that really bump friendship levels up significantly. However, the reward is worthwhile, since this is the only way to access the valley's other biomes, and that means more crafting materials. Some quest requirements get stuck in a similar gameplay loop, but the payoff from most of them, even if it's just seeing how new characters interact with already established residents, make this worthwhile. You can also take a break from grinding by spending Dreamlight in the valley's castle to access realms. These realms are small areas themed around a certain character. This could for example be Wall-E in a very polluted area. They have some small requirements like fetching certain items or planting these trees, but when you've done those, you can then invite them to come to your village. But when you aren't fishing with Goofy or visiting different realms, you got a staggering array of crafting and design options to scatter throughout your own house and across the valley itself. These options unfold slowly as you find new recipes, but there's still quite a bit you can do even just with the basics. This game clearly wants to make itself approachable and fun for everyone, and it goes out of its way to make tasks that are often unpleasant in other life sims as convenient as possible. every recipe, even experimental one that should be dubious food, produce something useful. You can water whole swatches of soil with just one use of the watering can. The whole experience is frictionless minus the occasional tedious segments, and lends itself perfectly either to short check-ins to craft a few items, or longer sessions getting your house just right. In other words, it's a perfect fit for the Switch, theoretically. In reality, Dreamlight Valley needs a fair bit more optimization to run well on Nintendo's hybrid console. Camera stuttering and frame rate issues are common in handheld mode, while both docked and handheld mode struggle with severe menu lag, long load times, and a few moments where Dreamlight Valley just gives up and crashes. There are a few non-Switch specific issues that Gameloft can hopefully sort out as time goes by. These quirks are what you typically expect from an early access game, and coupled with an unclear path for the future, recommending Disney Dreamlight Valley for $30 doesn't come without qualifications. But what's here is fun. In conclusion, Disney Dreamlight Valley is a frictionless, relaxing spin on life sims that manages to remain heartwarming and charming despite a few Switch-related rough patches. The unique identity relies heavily on fresh interactions with your in-game friends, and Gameloft will need to continue supporting it with regular updates to keep the Night Thorns from creeping back in. However, what's here at launch is surprisingly touching and thoughtful, and cleverly plays on the nostalgia of everyone who's ever been a Disney fan. We here at Nintendo Life give Disney Dreamlight Valley on the Nintendo Switch a 7 out of 10. And now with the review done, it's time for Felix's personal thoughts. I was actually quite surprised with this game. Just entering the realm of where Wall-E is and the little jingle from the movie plays, I teared up. Not like massive, but this game can have some serious emotion on you if you're a Disney fan at all. Now let's talk about the performance real quick, because on Switch, it's rough. I've had sections where the music just goes in and out, and the frame rate can sometimes be the same. It's a shame because this game is perfect for Switch. Hopefully they can patch some of these things out, but just be wary that if you want the best possible way of playing this game, it might not be on the Switch. But if you don't have anything else to play it on, it totally does the job. Like, you can still experience it, it's just a bit more rough than what you would have hoped. Oh, it's so satisfying going around and removing all the Night Thorns and slowly building together your valley. Finding new characters and doing quests for them never felt like a chore, but more of a fun activity. Now, I've not played this game massively, but so far there's never been a moment where I thought, what should I do now? There's always a new mission, a new thing to do, and I just hope that it keeps on going in the game. Of course, you're gonna reach a point where you can't really do much more that day, but I was surprised how it just kept giving this game. For example, when I started, I thought early on that I knew what this game was about, and while it was fun, suddenly the game introduces the realms where you go to different areas and do character-specific quests to get those characters in the valley, and that just gave so much more life to this game. Also, that you can see the different biomes in the distance and know, oh, I'll be able to go there and meet new characters and get new materials. Yeah, it's just a nice experience. If you, like me, grew up with Disney when you were a child, this is an easy recommendation. And if you like this video, why don't you remove those Night Thorns from the subscribe button and then give it a little click. Stay safe, play some Disney Dreamlight Valley. Felix from Nintendo Life, out.